The Miami Heat came away with a big 136-131 win last night against the Portland Trailblazers to improve the 6-4 on the season and 4-0 at home. The Miami Heat are looking like an offensive juggernaut at times and are actually second in the NBA right now in scoring. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, to think that the Miami Heat could be scoring at a clip like this 10 games into the season. Right now, if you actually look at the overall scoring in the NBA, the Miami Heat is second to only the Denver Nuggets. They're averaging 124.1 points per game, which is insane. Now, on the other side, defensively, they're giving up 118 points per game, so which is probably is in the lower part of the second 10 in the league. But the point scoring is going crazy for the Miami Heat. This positionless basketball that they're playing seems to be working pretty well, and it's leaving a lot of questions that need to be asked and answered in the next few weeks because there are some opportunities out there for the Miami Heat to make some noise in the on the market. And I talked about that in a previous video, such as a trade for trading Tyler Herro and maybe a pick or a Hero with Caspar, the rookie, and moving them over to Memphis and going and get a real point guard in Ja Morant. That is something to really be discussed and looked at because if that's an option, the Miami Heat need to seriously consider doing that, especially after having seen how this team is performing without Tyler Herro, who is largely, I mean, I don't know, I don't think people want to hear it, but he's largely a ball stopper. He is a ball stopper, and they're playing a lot more freely with him not in the lineup. Norman Powell has been a great addition to this team. And even with Bam Adebayo out of the lineup for the last two games, the Heat came away with victorious. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Heat Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. Mind hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell, leave a comment. Let me know y'all thoughts about what's popping off with the Heat, and of course, your opinion on this video. I love to hear commentary all the time. Nikola Jovic balled out yesterday, people. He had 29 points on 10 of 16 shooting. you know, Off the bench, no less. 3 of 7 from three. So he finished with 29, 9 boards, 7 assists. The best game of his life. I mean, that is the best game of his NBA career. You know, when the Heat needed a bucket, he got it. And he played an absolutely fabulous game off of the bench for the Miami Heat, who continue to have these really crazy scoring quarters. And he scored 45 points in the second, 36 in the fourth, closed the job in the fourth quarter. I mean, the lead went back and forth because this is today's NBA, and you have these runs where people just jack up a whole bunch of threes, blow a 10-point lead in the blink, and then they go back and get it back. The Heat shot 51% from the field, 28.6 from three. Um, Only turned the ball over 14 times. Actually, six of those were Jovic because he did try to play a little point guard, and he's not a point guard, and it showed. They forced 20 turnovers from the Portland Trailblazers. Went to the line 36 times, outscored the Blazers by 9 at the free throw line, and had one heck of a second half there um, against the Blazers. Norman Powell had 22 points, and I think he's been such a steadying force for this team. I mean, he's a vet presence that's brought a lot of, I think, relaxation to this unit. When you think about it, he's older than Bam Adebayo, so he is an actual vet when it comes down to it. Andrew Wiggins had 15 points. Davion Mitchell, 11.7 assists, and Pele Larson continues to play really, really well. 16 points, five assists, 7 to 10 from the field. You also got 14 out of Jaime Jaquez, along with 12 rebounds and 7 assists. And Drew Smith brought 13 off the bench. This team has been playing at a very, very high level, even in their defeats. They're not getting blown out of games. If you look at their schedule right now this season, I mean, they lost to the Nuggets by 10, they lost to the Lakers by 10, they lost to the Spurs by 6, and the Magic by 4. They're in these games. I think the one game that they probably weren't in more for the most part was the Nuggets game. That was a game where Bam got hurt and went out. But outside of that, they're largely in these games and they're competing and they're going back and forth with these opponents. It it's that style of basketball that's being played today. I mean, you have that run and gun, fun and run, no defense type game. Like there's no defense being played in these games. These guys are just allowing each other to just go up and down the floor, take a bunch of 30-footers and, run around. I mean, they're running around like it's the park, man. I mean, I'll be real. I mean, there's good and there's bad to it. Now, the Blazers were led by Denny Avdija, who had 33 points and 11 boards and 8 assists. Shadion Sharp had 21. Drew Holiday had 18. Donovan Klingon had 13. And Jeremy Grant had 18 off the bench. But it wasn't enough, man, for the Blazers to come into South Florida and get a W. Miami led by 3 going into the fourth, fell behind by 3 a minute into the fourth, but could proceed to go on a run to get the lead back. And pretty much from the 7, it was tied at 7. I mean, heck, the Heat were down by 2 with 7 minutes to go. Once they tied the game from that point on, I mean, it was back and forth. Gosh, it just so happened so fast in today's game. But it was 117, 116 Blazers. The Heat take the lead. The Blazers tie it back up at 4:45. The Heat take the lead. And from that point on, I mean, no, again, tied it up. It was tied with 3:30 to go. I mean, again, and they were trailing with 2:40 to go. So I think that's also, and I watched this game. So it's like, it's amazing how quickly I forget some of this stuff. But with 2 minutes left, Norman Powell hits a couple of free throws. Andrew Wiggins hits a 3, and the Heat are up 5. And that was where it ended. The Heat went up by as many as 7 and closed the game out. From the point it was 127, 127, he closed the game out on a 9-4 run to get the W. It's really important that the Heat win their home games, especially early on. I mean, we have dropped in the past so many home games that we should win. And again, I don't know what we should win or what we shouldn't win. I don't know what games because I don't know I'm still trying to figure out this team. I mean, people might have the mentality that, oh, this team is great right now. We'll see. It's still a process, and they're 10 games in. They're 6-4. They are right now, I think, the 7th seed or the 6th seed in the East. They're the 6th seed in the East. I mean, but the 6th seed to the 1 seed is 1.5 games, so it's not a huge gap right now. Detroit's the number 1 team in the East. I mean, so it just we have a long way to go. Long way to go. Now the Heat return to the court on Monday against the Cavs. They play tomorrow night against the Cleveland Cavaliers and then play again against the Cavs on Wednesday. Both of those games are home games. Those are going to be tough games for the Miami Heat, and before they have a couple with the Knicks and before welcoming Jimmy Butler back to town again on November 19th. But the questions that now come up that have to be answered at some point is Tyler Herro a fit now? Does Tyler Herro help this squad, or does Tyler Herro hinder this squad? And some people will tell me that I'm crazy, and people will say, oh, Ja Morant, you can't trust him, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm watching from a perspective. He's actually a point guard, and Miami doesn't really have a backup point guard coming off of the bench. I mean, Drew Smith has been good, and he can play, but Davion Mitchell, I'll stick to it. He's not a starter in this league. Ja Morant is an electric point guard, and he gets guys involved. He's one of the best in the league at that position. And if you can flip flop him for Tyler Herro, I don't see how you don't do it. As long as you have a well behaved Ja Morant, I mean, it seems like a crazy thing to not consider. Herro is a scorer, man. No matter how much you want to fit that square peg into the round hole and make him a point guard, he is not a point guard. And the way this team is flowing, if you're watching them play, they are moving the ball, they're passing the ball, they're flowing, and it's impressive. I gotta be honest with myself. I mean, it's been impressive. I'm highly critical. I think people know that by now, but they've been impressive. I mean, 6-4. If you told me the Heat would be 6-4 through 10 games, pardon my son screaming in the background, my apology. But if you told me they'd be 6-4, 10 games, and I'd tell you you're crazy. I would tell you you're absolutely crazy. I would tell you you're crazy, and I mean, there's no way, especially not after the way they blew that first game against the Magic. It was like that looked like the Miami Heat that I know, a team that blows games down the stretch, and they have not been doing that. The Lakers game, they were losing. The Nuggets game, they were losing. The one game that I would sit here and say that they blew down the stretch, besides the Orlando game, was the Spurs game. They were right there in that Spurs game. They had a great opportunity to win that game, and they let it go. But the rest of these games, they have finished them in the fourth quarter. They've done a great job finishing games. So I think that the question will have to get answered at some point. I think you should be trying to strike while the strike is good with Ja Morant. That's just my opinion. And of course, people can disagree, and people will always disagree with me because that's just the way it is. People have opinions. Ja Morant right now has played 9 games. He's averaging 20 points per game, 7.9 assists, 4 rebounds, 1.2 steals. I mean, this is a real point guard. This is a real point guard. We don't need Ja Morant to come here and average 25 a game. I need Ja Morant to make everybody around him better. I need Ja Morant to make everyone around him better. So yeah, let's see what happens. But Miami Heat improved to 6-4. They return to the court tomorrow night. Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's go Heat, man. For all your Heat information, jump on board right here at Heat Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments. Come on now.